Hi, in this video, we're going to go over how you can deploy InfiniteTalk as your very own API. InfiniteTalk is probably the best open source character animator model available right now. You can give it a audio input and a video for imagery reference, and it outputs the character or person from your input video speaking the words in the audio. And it looks as natural as I've seen for any of these similar type models, and you even get some of the motion from the original video. The benefits of deploying it as your very own API is you can build around it an application, you can hit it programmatically, and we are going to deploy it in such a way where you are only charged for your inference and build time, not for time where your app is idle. And also, unlike a pre-built API, you can control all of the parameters. You can set the audio guidance level, you can set number of inference steps, you can control it all. So let's get going. We're going to be using a platform called Modal and a open source GitHub repo that I created. First thing you're going to want to do is go to modal.com and set up an account. They give you $30 a month of credits for free and $5 at first without even putting a credit card. So go ahead and create an account. Once you're in, you're going to just click through their little market research, and then get started. And then you're going to copy these instructions, or I will have them in the open source GitHub repo for you. Then you're going to want to go into your terminal. Hopefully you have Python installed, and you will do pip install modal. Then just modal setup. This will authenticate you with your account. And you're all set up with Modal. Then you're going to go to the GitHub repo that I'm going to link in the video description, and this is the repo I created so that you can run InfiniteTalk on Modal. Copy the address, and then you're going to git clone the repo, then cd into the directory. And now we're ready to deploy the app to your Modal account. The first thing we're going to do is install one dependency, pip install pydantic, and then modal deploy app.py. And then this will build a Docker image and push it to Modal, and you don't have to think about it at all. They handle all of this behind the scenes. You're just going to want to remember that whenever you change app.py or anything in the repo, you're going to want to deploy the app again so that the Docker image is rebuilt. Once that is done, we can start generating videos. We could use the API, but first I'm going to show you how you can use the CLI tool. With the CLI tool, you can actually use inputs that are on your file system rather than fully formed URLs. In the repo, you can copy and paste the run app.py command. You're going to give it an image path. Then this is your input video, or it could be a still image. And then you're going to give it your audio path. This is the audio that your character will lip sync to. And then your prompt. Here we're just doing a very simple prompt. And then you provide your output path. Hit enter and the generation process will start. Note that the first time you generate with this, it will download the models to Modal and be stored there in their volume storage. You're actually not charged for any storage, which is wonderful. And in this application right now, we are downloading the full LON 2.1 weights. They are not the quantized version because I noticed that it took a lot longer to generate when using the quantized versions, and there's a issue open in the InfiniteTalk repo where other people experience the same thing. So the first time running with all of those files downloaded, it could take quite a bit of time. When this model runs, you'll see in the CLI, you get a lot of logging output. And you can also go into the Modal dashboard and see the logs in there as well. It looks like this, and in it you can see how quickly they spin up your Docker container even from a cold start. We're currently running on an L40S. I will show you how easy it is to change that in app.py, and this is Modal's pricing for its different hardware options. That completed generating in about 14 minutes and wrote to our output path. So let's see the result.
Oh, I think you're going to throw a ball. Please don't do the thing where you fake me out. It is so beneath you. Come on, throw.
I'm pretty happy with those results. We get a close lip sync and some movement of the tail similar to the input video. I did add some audio at the end there that I plan to trim off because I've noticed that you can get audio clipped at the end, so you might as well add some extra just in case. That generation was triggered by the CLI. Now I'll show you how to actually use the API. First thing we have to do is go into Modal and create a token so that our API is secure. This is a proxy auth token, and you're going to want to copy those values. So we're going to go back into our terminal and export our token ID with the value you got, and then export our token secret. And now we are ready to call our API. In the README, I have some curl commands to do this. You could write your own client. You can incorporate this into an app, but just to test it out and play with it, you can just use the curl commands. I'm going to copy the curl command from the README. This kicks off the generation. You have to give it an image or video input, an audio input, and a prompt, and it kicks it off. Note that they need to be fully formed URLs for your image or video and audio. I'm using Google Storage to host those inputs. Once it is kicked off, you will get a call ID in return. This is an asynchronous API, so you can make calls to check the status on the job. I have a separate curl command for that in the README. When we check the status, if it's not ready, we get a 202 in response. When it is ready, we would get a 200. This was just kicked off, so we get a 202. While this is generating, we can check the logs in modal.com to see how it's progressing. When it's done, we can do the status call again just to show that we now get a 200. And then there's a separate call to retrieve the file. And let's see the result.
Dog parks are exhausting. Yes, that petting. Oh my goodness. I can't even lift my head.
I think that worked really well. This works with humans as well. Here's a test I ran just to show a person.
All happy families resemble one another. Every unhappy family is unhappy in its own way.
The last thing I wanted to show you is how you can change your configuration options. You're going to go into the repo, into app.py, that is where most of the action happens, and you will see an option called GPU over here, and you can change that, see the modal docs for other options, and it will change the pricing and the speed of the inference. And then with respect to the inference options, those are down here, and you can change the number of sample steps, the shift, how much color correction you're using, etc. So let me know if you have luck with other settings, and I hope this was helpful.